You're watching a Highwire Media podcast.
It's really hard to sweep a series, but even harder when your bullpen is doing this. Hey, welcome to the Texas Rangers podcast. As always, I'm your host, Larry Lease. Hit subscribe on your favorite podcasting platform and on YouTube, where the best way you can help grow the show is to comment nearly any single thing below. Now, on today's show, I'm talking about the Rangers failing to sweep the Yankees, losing the season series. Jack Leiter struggles, and the Rangers have a problem with Garcia. But let's start off with the starter, Jack Leiter. The Rangers lost this game 3-2. Not a horrible game by Jack Leiter by any means, but not the kind of game that he was hoping to have. And the second straight struggling start for Jack Leiter in just an absolutely crucial matchup. This is the second straight game where Jack Leiter has just not been able to go even through 5 innings. He might have been able to go 5 innings in his first 5 days ago, or I guess 6 days ago at this point, when they were in Seattle. And the Rangers didn't lose that game because of what Jack Leiter did. But this one, they also didn't lose just because of Jack Leiter. Still, it was incredibly frustrating to watch him backtrack. After making so much progress the last couple of games against Houston, against the A's, Atlanta, of him being able to work around a little bit of trouble, the walks have just absolutely murdered Jack Leiter in these last couple of starts. This one specifically, last start, he walked in the 1 run that he gave up while he was actually on the mound with the bases loaded. And then in this one, the 2 walks accounted for the 2 runs that he let up. Only one of them was earned because of a terrible throw by Kyle Higashioka and a lack of controlling the running game, yet again by another Texas Rangers pitcher. Today's episode is brought to you by Fanatics, your one-stop shop for officially licensed sports gear. Whether you're repping your favorite Dallas Cowboys, Dallas Mavericks, Texas Rangers, or the Dallas Stars, or your favorite college team, Fanatics has thousands of jerseys, hats, collectibles, and more. Their selection is always up to date, so you can grab the latest drops and exclusive merch you won't find anywhere else. Plus, with Fanatics fan cash rewards, you earn on every purchase and save on the next. Gear up, show your pride, and shop now at fanatics.com or use the link in the description. This was just straight up not good enough. Not good enough from Jack Leiter, who looked incredible for the first couple innings, getting a big strikeout, a called third strike on the best hitter in all of baseball, and then getting a lead and doing absolutely nothing with it. In fact, doing less than nothing with it. Walking the first guy after the Rangers got him the lead, he walked the first guy he saw in 4 pitches. 4 pitches. Not particularly competitive pitches by any means. This is just another case of Jack Leiter, who has some of the best stuff on earth, truly. His raw stuff, the velocity on his fastball, the shape of it, pairing it with the sinker, the curveball, the changeup that has made so many steps forward this year, as well as the slider, which is probably the nastier of his 2 breaking balls, depending on the day. But he gets so in his head that he tries to throw the most perfect pitch, as opposed to just throwing a strike. There were so many just non-competitive pitches in this one that they're going to get you into trouble every single time, especially early on in counts. Excuse me. The first pitch, trying to throw that perfect, just touching the corner pitch, when really you could just blow your stuff by most guys in the major leagues and get away with it. Occasionally he might get hit for a homer or 2, but he has not been giving up hard contact. He hasn't been giving up a whole lot of hits because he's been giving away so many free bases. This was just straight up not good enough. Not good enough giving the Rangers innings in depth and length in a game that was crucial, because the Rangers got swept the first time they played the Yankees in New York. They should not have gotten swept. They played, I think, overall better than the Yankees in that series, but they did. So in order not to lose the season series, the Rangers had to sweep the Yankees in this one. They just weren't able to do it. Thankfully, because of the heroics of Nathan Eovaldi in the second game of the series, the pen was basically completely rested. Pretty much everyone was available in this one. I think that's a little bit why Bruce Bochy had more of an aggressive hook in this one. And also in the last start for Jack Leiter, who maybe could have worked himself out of a little bit of trouble in that game in Seattle. Maybe he could have worked himself out of trouble in this one. But when you keep on walking the world, 4 walks in 3 in a third innings, when you have more walks than innings pitched, you cannot be surprised when you are not given the chance to pitch out of your own mistakes. This is just again the same thing with Jack Leiter that he has been struggling with all year. All career, really, of just yanking these fastballs. At least his misses are different now. This is a little bit different, and this is some progress from where he was last year, or even earlier on at the end of last year. This year, the start of this year, he was absolutely fantastic. There still have been times where Jack Leiter has really gotten in his own way. If he can just get out of his own way, get out of his own head, this is a guy with such a high ceiling. The ability to add the velocity that he did this year, adding that changeup, adding the sinker, adding all these pitches that complement each other better, he's pitching smarter, he's learning, he's getting better. But it's frustrating to watch these learning curves happen at the big league level in a pennant chase. It is very, very difficult to watch, and it's harder to let these guys go through their struggles and learn from it and get better. Thankfully, he's got some of the best teachers in at least modern history of Major League Baseball. Having Mike Maddox as his pitching coach, truly one of the best pitching coaches in the game. Having spent some time around Max Scherzer last year, spending a lot of time around Nathan Eovaldi, who's an incredible mentor and has helped so many pitchers get so much better, just learning from him. I mean, looking at what Evo has done this year, I'm sure game planning and just anything wise, Eovaldi is letting Jack Leiter know what he thinks and helping him grow as a pitcher. Not to mention having Jacob deGrom on your staff as well, who knows how to pitch with some of the best stuff in baseball. He knows how to do that. But deGrom has kind of always had that command. The stuff came as he got better and honed his craft a little bit more. For Jack, the stuff has always been there, but the pitchability has not quite been there just yet. It is absolutely incredibly frustrating to watch this golden chance go by, to sweep the Yankees, to take a postseason spot, to at least tie the season series. I can't remember exactly what the tiebreakers come down to if the Rangers had a 3-3 record against the Yankees this year and tied the season series. But because they lost the season series, and they also lost the season series against the Mariners, much more handedly than they lost this one, I might add, the Rangers have to have a better record than the Yankees or the Mariners, the two teams just ahead of them in this playoff chase. It puts them in a much harder position than they were at the start of the season, or series. Or I guess the start of Wednesday's game. Still, just an incredibly frustrating game, but there were some good points. There were some good parts, including the number 9 hitter, Zeke Duran, the best day he's had all year, and most of this pen, I will say, doing their job. But let's talk about some of the good things that have happened in that game yesterday. The Rangers had some base runners. Stop me if you've heard this before. The Rangers had some base runners. They did end up squandering them, but Zeke Duran, I've got to give him a lot of credit. 3 for 3 in this one, including a line drive double. He scored both of the Rangers' runs. 4 total bases for him in this one. And I mean, you look at his 7 games, the dude has been on fire. 4 RBIs in his last 7 games, only 1 strikeout, a stolen base, hitting .636 with a .727 slugging percentage in that time frame. Now, a lot of that comes from this game. But when he's been starting against lefties as of late, it's not just the hits in this game, it's the quality of at-bats. Not all of these were just line drives, laser beam singles and hits like we're used to seeing from Zeke. One of them was just a little bit of a dribbler that he used his speed to beat out, and Carlos Rodon nearly made an incredible play. Getting production like this out of the bottom of the lineup when the top of your lineup did some things in today's game, but was not really able to get that kind of an impact on the baseball, driving the ball over the fence or really into the gaps, not a whole lot of extra base hits for the Rangers in this one at all. Literally just that double by Zeke Duran. I've got to give a shout out to Zeke Duran for having such a great day at the plate, and to Hoby Milner for stepping in a huge situation, an absolutely huge situation, and having one of his best performances of the season. Pitching 2 2/3 innings, eating up a lot of bulk, I don't know why the Yankees went so lefty heavy in this lineup. because Jack Leiter has been pretty nasty against left-handed hitters this season. They really only have two true righties in their lineup. One of them, Aaron Judge. One of them, Anthony Volpe at shortstop. Two guys that I don't think they were going to switch out, especially not Aaron Judge. And he ended up striking out Aaron Judge. But Hoby Milner came in with runners at the corners after one of the two runs scored on a really terrible throw by Kyle Higashioka. Had that been a little bit different, a little bit more on the line, had Jack done a better job of just holding the runners and keeping them from the double steal, then maybe this game looks a little bit different. Maybe the Rangers use a different reliever later on in this game. But Hoby Milner coming in that spot where it could have gotten out of hand, I mean, it really could have gotten out of hand in a hurry, if not for him. Who got a quick comebacker right to him, runs down the runner at third base. Still ends up with runners at the corners, another comebacker right to him. Fields his position, runs all the way to first base for an unassisted out. 2 2/3 innings with just the one walk, which was immediately eliminated on a double play. Only one strikeout for him. His ERA on the season is now down to 2.24. And Cole Winn, who did a really good job in this one, his ERA after 2 scoreless innings, 2 hitless innings, 2 strikeout-less innings with a couple of walks, down to 113 on the year. Sean Armstrong coming in with a little bit of trouble brewing because of what happened with Robert Garcia. But him getting the one out, getting out of that inning with just the one run on the board when it looked like there might be a few more, lowering his season ERA down to 2.90. I mean, the Rangers have so many good bullpen pieces in this one. The one guy who's not considered a good bullpen piece, at least right now. Overall, it's been a decent season for Robert Garcia, but right now, my God, this guy cannot get out of his own way. Coming into the top of the 7th inning in a tie game, Bruce Bochy talked about him coming into a lower leverage spot. A softer landing, if you will. But this is not that soft a landing. It's softer than a save situation for sure. It's not the 8th inning, it's not the 9th inning, it's not extra innings. There's no runners on base. It was a clean inning facing the bottom 2 hitters in this lineup. Now, yes, bottom 2 hitters in this lineup, and immediately he faces off against Rosario, who's done a good job against left-handed pitching. He was facing off against 2 lefties, which would have been 3 straight lefties, had he been able to retire all 3 of the batters that he faced. But it felt pretty obvious that the Yankees were going to throw someone out there to pinch hit for the lefties. McMahon, left on left, probably not a guy who the Yankees wanted to see. Have someone find out if he could just figure out how to hit lefties in that moment. Austin Wells, who is not a great offensive catcher this year, has been in the past, but definitely hasn't hit lefties particularly well. That felt like a pretty obvious platoon situation where they would just plug someone in there and move Ben Rice over from first base to catcher. It felt pretty obvious that they would put Paul Goldschmidt in there, who absolutely annihilated the left-handing pitching of Patrick Corbin in the first game of the series. It just did not feel like a super smart matchup, but it was not a whole lot of leverage, not a whole lot of pressure on Robert Garcia. And then he faces off. He gets Ahmed Rosario to ground out. Overall, it looked pretty good in that at-bat, and to start off that at-bat against Paul Goldschmidt, he also looked pretty good. He gets a called strike on the first pitch, that backs up and maybe catches the corner. Didn't really particularly look like it, then low and away. Goes with a changeup on 0-1, gets it down to 0-2. Then he just dots up another changeup right on the bottom away corner of the strike zone, which gets fouled off. And then for some reason, when he's got him off balance, he decides to go with a fastball up and in the strike zone. An 0-2 pitch in the strike zone, and not just that, a fastball in the strike zone to a very hot hitter. And what does he do? But of course, absolutely launches that freaking thing for a go-ahead home run that ended up being the difference in this game. The Rangers have some of the most 0-2 count homers in Major League Baseball. He's got good properties on that fastball. He's got good deception on his delivery, and it pairs well with his changeup. But you can't just blow that stuff by guys in their nitro zone and expect to get away with it. You just can't. You absolutely cannot do that. And then letting him continue to stay out there, it was just such an incredibly rough watch. After 3 really great pitches, after getting the first hitter out, 3 quality pitches up, 0-2 on Paul Goldschmidt, then boom, game pretty much over. Because the Rangers could not capitalize, and this offense is starting to fall back a little bit down to earth. Excuse me. And maybe their struggles against lefties will continue, because they got a tough series ahead. Series heading up this weekend. But we'll talk about that a little bit later. This show is brought to you by Game Time. You ever decided at the last minute to head to a ball game with friends or family? Maybe it's game time, or game day and game time, and you suddenly realize you want to be in the stands. And that's exactly where Game Time comes in. It's the easiest way to grab last-minute tickets without that stress. With the money you save on tickets, you can splurge on food, drinks, merch, or even invite a bigger group to come with you. Game Time makes it possible. Game Time makes buying tickets fast and simple. The prices on their app actually drop the closer you get to first pitch. They've got incredible last-minute deals, clear seat views, and a lowest price guarantee that takes the worrying out of buying. So take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app using the link in the description. Create an account today. Now this was just an incredibly frustrating day for this offense as well. Only 2 for 8 with runners in scoring position, and 11 runners left on base. The Rangers had so many base runners in this one, it's actually kind of insane. So many walks in this one for both sides. Jack Leiter walking the world in this one, and Winn walking a couple and getting a walk from Hoby Milner. Robert Garcia, at least, didn't walk anybody, but everybody else in this game walked at least somebody for this Ranger squad. The Rangers got 8 hits and 7 walks in this one, and so many of these base runners, so many of these innings that looked like they could have been rallies, just ended up being cut short because of 3 different double plays grounded into. One by Josh Young, one by Kyle Higashioka, and one by Marcus Semien. Josh Young, who had a 10-game hit streak heading into this game, ever since being called back up to the big leagues, goes 0 for 3 with a double play grounded into. Just a little bit of bad luck. Honestly, a well-struck ball, but again, when it's on the ground, it can be a double play pretty easily. He also struck out. Kyle Higashioka, he goes 1 for 4 in this one with a strikeout and a double play grounded into. And then Marcus Semien, when an inning was looking like it was starting to be maybe a little bit of a rally, grounds into a double play. But he drove in one of the 2 Rangers runs in this game. Just one of the only runs the Rangers were able to score. Just a sacrifice fly. Something this Rangers offense could not really do in Tuesday's game, or has struggled at times to do. Just manufacture runs. And it was a good bit of hitting by Marcus Semien, who has been in a little of a slump as late. It's just been a little rough to watch him and Seager. I know Seager went for 2 for 3 with a pair of walks in this one, but both those hits were not Corey Seager hits at all. Just a hand grenade into the outfield to load the bases right ahead of Marcus Semien's sacrifice fly. And then just a chopper infield hit where maybe he could have gone to second base and tried to stretch it out there against the arm of his former teammate Cody Bellinger. But he decided it wasn't worth it early on in this game. Sam Haggerty also had a great game in this one. He reached base 3 times, drove in the first run of the game with a hit right to where the second baseman used to be. Zeke Duran running on the play. Good bit of hitting from Sam Haggerty, who has provided a lot of value to this Rangers squad. I don't know exactly what the Rangers will do with the roster configuration when Berger comes back. They'll have some difficult decisions, especially with Evan Carter still on the IL. But when you have guys that are versatile as Duran, Haggerty, and Smith, you've got choices and roster flexibility. The Rangers just need to start stacking up some wins because they've got ground to make up. 1.5 back of the Yankees, which basically means 2.5 because they lost the season series. The Red Sox are surging. Everybody else in this postseason chase is surging. And the Rangers desperately need every single win they can get. So that's going to be it for this week's episode. Thank you all so much for listening and subscribing. And if you want to support the channel, you can just scan that QR code or go to buymeacoffee.com/TTRangers. And your support goes directly back into this channel, helps us upgrade our equipment, bring in new hosts, be able to pay them because I want to be able to hire a co-host and respectfully pay them for their time. And of course, I also want to be able to do live episodes from Globe Life Field or at away games across the country. And your support can help make that happen. And if you can't financially support us, consider giving us a thumbs up on our video or hit that subscribe button down below. As always, thank you so much for watching and listening. We'll see you next time on the Talkin' Texas Rangers show.